Now that's the sound you want to hear when you're thinking crispiest fish and chips. And not just any fish and chips, we have a sweet, savoury curry sauce, creamy mushy peas. That's right, my friends, you've seen me make better than takeout fish and chips, you've seen me make best Australian fish and chips, but now I'm going to make the best British fish and chips. Controversial, because I'm Australian. Let's see how it goes. Now, I want to make sure that we've got the actual legit British fish and chips going on today. So I'm going to call my food editor, Amy. She's English and she's going to give me the lowdown. Hello, hi lovely lady. Are you okay to help me out with some Britishness things? What is a classic traditional British fish and chips?
Perfect British fish and chips has to be the ultimate ratio, the butter to fish ratio. It's got to be spot on. We don't want too much butter. And the chips, none of that skinny malarkey. We want chunky. It's got to be chunky chips. Sometimes we'll be fighting over the crispy bits that are in the bag, and they'll be stuck to the paper, and also malt vinegar.
Can we talk mushy peas?
We can talk mushy peas, but if you don't want mushy peas, you'd have curry sauce or gravy, the English style curry sauce. It's thick. It's kind of really a luminous yellow. It's not kind of an Indian style. It's not hot. It's not spicy.
Okay, all right. So we've got the batter to fish ratio. Chips must be chunky. Malt vinegar.
Yes.
And you can choose between a mushy pea or a curry sauce. Curry sauce is like generic yellow, thick kind of curry situation if we're going to go with that. Thanks so much, lovely. Such a big help.
Don't worry.
Okay, bye. The first thing I want to do are my chips because I want that ultimate crunch, and there's a little bit of technique involved here. So start off with your potatoes. A good chip potato is often like a Sebago or a russet potato, and you want to peel your potatoes and then cut them into like nice big chunks. Remember, we want chunky fat chips here, not little French fries. These chips are now going to be cooked 3 times. So the first time is going to be a parboil. And you want to start with cold water, not hot water, because if you start with hot water, the potatoes cook too much on the outside and then they're not cooked on the inside. You get the kind of gist of it. And you want to let these cook for around about 15 minutes so that they just kind of tender on the outside. All right, let's have a look at these. So you can see that the potato is just kind of soft on the outside, but still firm when you give it a tap. So that's perfect. Strain the potatoes and then spread them out on a tray, pop them into the fridge, and you want to let them cool down for a good 20 minutes or so. They need to be really cool to the touch. So you want to start off with these guys, and in your supermarket you're looking for what's called dried peas. They're also called marrow fat peas, which is an odd name, but that's the name. So they're kind of like hard and firm like this. You need to add in some bicarb soda, cover them with boiling water, and they need to soak overnight. This kind of like starts the process of softening them up. So when they come back, this is what they look like. They're all kind of plump and they've gone a lot more green and look far more appetizing if you ask me. But we're not done yet. You need to drain the peas, rinse them because of course you don't want that like bicarb flavor in there, and then pop them into a pot, cover with 2 cups of water, bring it up to a boil, and then let those peas cook for about 45 minutes, coming back and stirring them every so often, or until they look like this, where when you stir them, you kind of get a mushy pea. That's what we're after. Now you can add the final little bits and pieces. You want some salt, a little dash of sugar, some butter, some cream, stir all that together, and there you go. That's your mushy pea. So here we are with our cooled chips. Now you'll notice here that even though they've been parboiled and they've been in the fridge, they're a little bit wet on the outside. That's going to cause you issues if you put wet chips into hot oil. So just make sure that you just press them out with a little bit of paper towel. Make sure they're super dry. The first fry is just about making them really lovely and tender. Put them into the hot oil, let them kind of simmer around in there, and they'll need about 12 minutes or so until they're tender through the center, but they're not really that crispy on the outside yet, just a little bit golden. Pull them out, drain them on some paper towel, and then they go back into the fridge for another 20 minutes. Now, I'm not entirely sure about how this curry sauce really goes, so I've kind of added my own twist to things. I'm sure a lot of people in the comments will tell me if I've done it wrong. But Amy said this curry sauce is kind of like thick and fluorescent yellow. So I'm going with that, and I'm going to start off with a little bit of a roux base. So butter, when it's starting to foam, then you can add in the flour. Give that a really good whisk for about a minute or so, and then stir in the curry powder. I'm using like a really bright yellow curry powder because I want that like iridescent yellow color. Now you can whisk in the chicken stock, whisk in the apple juice, and a little bit of ketchup here as well for some color and some extra flavor. Keep whisking. If you need to add some extra stock, if it's too thick, you can do that. And then when it looks all creamy and lush, just like this, simmer with a little bit of salt, and that is your curry sauce. Let's now wrap it all up. So just before I get to my fish, I want to do the final fry on my chips. So these have been back in the fridge, they're cool to the touch, and now they can go back into the hot oil. And when they look beautifully golden and crunchy, just like this, they're ready. So pop them to your tray, just on some paper towel first of all. Just dab them with a little bit of paper towel to get that excess oil off. Then hit them with some salt. You can hear the crunchy. Get in here and break one open. You can see that it's all lovely and fluffy on the inside. That's what we're talking about. Now we need to do the fish. To make the fish batter, you want to start off with some plain flour that's been chilled in the fridge, baking powder, and a little dash of turmeric for some color. Then place some corn flour into a large bowl or tray, and now we can mix the actual batter. So take your cold soda water, pour it into the flour mixture, and whisk until you kind of get like a pouring cream sort of consistency. It also doesn't matter if you've got lumps, because lumps actually kind of give you more crispiness. Now take your fish and then salt it, add it into the corn flour first, then add it into the batter, and then carefully add the fish into your hot oil. Now keep that fish fillet moving around the oil so it gets evenly cooked and crispy. Now the other thing is that Amy kept talking about lots of little crunchy bits, and I love the crunchy bits as well. So to do extra crunchy bits, just get your fingers and just kind of like swirl it around, get lots of batter in there, and I mean, look at that, it's already starting to look really good. And then you're going to need about 5 or 6 minutes here until that piece of fish is golden and crispy. Take the fish out, drain it on paper towel, sprinkle with salt, and now you're ready to assemble. Ah, that's so good. So I want to put my fish down here, mushy peas, and that sauce. There you go. Classic British fish and chips, done my way. Ah, the sound of that crunch, so good. Fish is perfectly cooked. Yeah, look at that. Look at that, Dax. Does that not look good?
Oh dear.
I've probably just done something very blasphemous then. I forgot the malt vinegar. Oh my goodness, Amy would kill me. Malt vinegar on the chips. I'm very excited. Oh my goodness. Ah, I love the sauce, the curry sauce flavor. I mean, I think I've got the vibe right. It's got a bit of that kind of like katsu curry sauce flavor, but it's like, it's just ultra comforting. I didn't think I was a mushy pea girl, but I think homemade mushy peas might be just that little bit extra. Maybe it was the extra butter I put in. I put quite a lot of butter in there. So good. I mean, as an Australian, I don't think I can say it's better than Australian fish and chips, so we can't do that, can we, Dax? No. No, he's
Probably
shaking
not,
his...
no.
No, probably not.
No.
No.